What you are watching is the creation of my glitch movie trailer for CMBT Project 5. The glitch movie trailer is a trailer based off of a horror and spoof genre film where two students discover a glitchy, portally-like phenomenon in the basement of the school. Then a humanoid creature comes out of it and they have to try to document it, otherwise people wouldn't believe them. The effects I use most often are glitchy effects where the screen shakes using a glitch layer that I then put on a distort map and connect the two layers. You can see that quite a bit through it. I also do a lot of black fades, tints, and other various things. At the moment, I'm trying to create the portal that the monster will come out of. As it's a spoof genre, I'm trying to make the effects quite poor and look quite strange. Right now, I'm adding a RGB split to the effect that splits the video into the red, green, and blue layers, and then offsets them slightly with a wiggle effect, so it looks like a old glitch kind of TV. I'm now mapping around one of the actors and distorting only that area, so my hope is to make the area around him really buggy and undecipherable, so it kind of fades into like a glitch effect. This took quite a while and was quite tedious because I would have to adjust the points around him very often. I am going every couple of frames and mapping them with keyframes. I did forget to keyframe at one point in the video. I don't know if that is documented, but I had to go back and delete everything I did. Right now I'm trying to see how it's playing out. I'm not too sure about the effect because I want it to look not realistic or anything like that, but I want it to look decent even for the spoof genre. I can see that it's working relatively well, but it's quite sharp at edges and the portal is moving a lot just because the amount the actor is moving. This goes on for quite some time, so whilst this does, I'm going to talk about the footage that I cut out of the recording. The way that I created the rain effect at the very beginning is by I created the raindrops with a particle effect for the singular droplets, and then multiple masks of lines with circular points on the end of them going downwards across the screen slowly, and then I offset them like with waves, so they look not straight and kind of raindrop kind of shapes. I then used a water effect in After Effects to make it look like rain on the camera. At the beginning title, it's a fade in with blur, then fade back out again. At the moment I am trying to find focus points because I didn't like the portal effect that I had originally. So I'm trying to find places in the recording that stay steady so I can add a pre-made portal effect that we attempted. I tried centering it. First I decided to go for a circle kind of theme, but I didn't quite like it, so I wanted to go for a quite overly quite shape portal. At the moment I've decided to change because it wasn't quite working, it wouldn't latch onto places. So now I'm manually going through keyframing the corners of the wall every couple frames. I'm doing this about every 2 frames of a 60 FPS video, and this scene goes on for about, I don't know, a minute I believe, maybe? No, not quite. I'm not too sure how long the scene goes on for. This bit takes a long time as well. I did spend an awful amount of time creating the portal, like many hours, over multiple different days. I've run out of the continuous shot of the portal at this moment, so I'm now backtracking and duplicating the layer. My intention for this portal is it to be kind of wavy, flashy, and still distorted. I discovered that the actor walks in front of the portal, so at the moment I'm trying to mask him out of the layer, but it wouldn't subtract like very well. After a while I had managed to get it, but I would have to go back and finish the rest of that because the portal still wasn't mapped correctly. I'm just about finished with the mapping of the scene, and at this point it's gotten very tedious. I've almost reached the end, as you can see in the video. I'm adding the flash effects and going to be moving on to the next scene quite soon. I decided to experiment with adjusting hues, and it turned out quite well, as you can see. I'm now going back and adjusting the beginning bit where the first actor turns on the camera and faces the portal, just to make sure it all looks okay and the audio is good. After the portal is finished, I then move on to change the other layers. I'll be doing that in a moment. I'm still trying to make cuts to black so it fades nicer when it turns the corner, so it doesn't look as as good really. I'm trying to make it look poorly edited and like a amateur film. In this scene, the two characters are talking to each other about what they saw, and then the next is a security footage scene, followed by other security footage scenes, and various scenes as seen in the storyboard. I'm almost done at this point, just adjusting the audio levels and various music. As you can see on my blog, I talk about what music used, and yeah, that's about it really. There's not much to it now. What you see is what there is. I've edited the portal effect mostly whilst doing the trailer, just because it was the most difficult part.